Okay, girl, thank you for coming today. We're going to talk about balanced mind, body, and spirit from Islamic perspective. Okay, girls. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Today we're going to talk about balanced body, mind, and spirit from an Islamic perspective. Before I start, I like everybody to do this exercise. It is lovely. It just show you and help you to reflect on where are you today. If you draw 3 circles, one representing your past, one representing your present, one representing your future, and it is not, there is nothing right or wrong in this. It's just a reflection of where things are with you at this moment in time. And I will come to this at the end. So the human body is body, mind, and soul, and emotion. And we're going to go through these 4 dimensions from an Islamic perspective. So if we look at the human brain, because this is where our emotions, there are like 3 sides to the brain. There are 3 parts for the brain. The lizard brain, which is all along start at the end of the head, the back of the head, along the spinal cord, and this what keeps the body in a state of a balanced state, and what this keeps the homeostaticity within the body. It keeps all the organs functioning even when we are in a state of sleep or rest. This also what starts the fight and flight within the nervous system. The purple side of the brain, this is the limbic system, where we keep our emotion, memories, habit, attachment. And the biggest side of the brain is neocortex, is the language, imagination, reasoning. What we really want to discuss today is the lizard brain, because this is the part where like our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system work. The sympathetic is the fight and flight, and the parasympathetic is the rest and digest. So the fight and flight, there are many parts of the spinal cord which work to put the body in a state of fight and flight. But the parasympathetic is only one nerve, which is the vagus nerve, which controls the rest and digest. And it is only one nerve, but it is wrapped along all these organs. It is wrapped around our breathing system, the heart, the digestive system, and that make it really easy for the body to go back to a state of rest and digest, a calm state. And because it's only one nervous system, so it is not really very complicated to put the body in a tranquil state. Very simple. So we can use our breathing to regulate our emotion and also our digestive system. And it is really fascinating because like the Quran mentioned, when Mary, Virgin Mary, peace be upon her, when she is having she was giving child to Jesus on her own, she was really very worried. She was a virgin, and Allah told her she's going to have a baby, and she knew it is a blessed baby, but she still, the whole experience was just very, it is a massive experience. And so she said, oh, I wish I had died before this happened to me. The miracle, Jesus is speaking to her. He called her, he said, do not grieve. You are blessed with this child. Yeah, you're blessed with me. And then he said, he commanded her, eat and drink and be contented. So, you know, if we look at the nervous system and how the stomach is when we eat, it helps to regulate our nervous system. And the vagus nerve, when we are eating, it helps to put the state of in a rest and digest or a tranquil state. And that's why sometimes people use eating as a comfort, and sometimes maybe on the other extreme, like comfort eating, sometimes when we go like to cakes and biscuits and unhealthy food, but that's the other extreme. Yeah, we always need to have a balanced relationship with eating food. So from a spiritual level, the Quran talks a lot about how this is the first verse in the Quran. This book, there is no doubt, and it is guidance. for those who follow this book, and those who believe in the unseen, and they pray and they give from what have provided for them. So it's like the Quran is saying, to bring us to a state of tranquility, we need to start establishing meditation time or prayer time. And it's not only the prayer time, it's also being of good to other people, being of service to other people. And those who believe with what revealed to the Prophet, and they are very sure with the unseen world. And in Surah Luqman, it also talked about prayer. So the prayer is that connection. Prayer or meditation is our connection with our spiritual world. And that can also put our nervous system in a state of a rest and a tranquil state. Emotion. How did the Quran regulate our emotions? There are two emotions mentioned through the Quran, like fear and sadness. They were repeated, fear and sadness, fear and sadness. So when it talks about fear, fear is always about the future. We are afraid of something which have not happened. And sadness is related to something which happened in the past. So when we are worried or when we are stuck in the past, then that is a sad emotion. And fear is something from in the future. So like this holy book, it talks about healing for fear and sadness. And we find these words, they always like come together. So when you follow my guidance, you will not be frightened and you will not have sorrow. And it's just like there are sometimes different solution to these emotions. Sometimes it talks about being spiritual. Sometimes it talks about being of service to other humans or other beings. Also acceptance. There is a lot come back to acceptance. When we accept what happened in our life, that help us not to be in a state of bereavement or in a state of sadness. Being here at this moment is a big chunk in healing and being here and now at this time. One of the main building blocks for being here and now is like just to try to practice that is not an easy thing, because like sometimes people, a lot of people in the world now try to practice multitasking, and we know multitasking does not really help the practice of being mindful, being here and now. And this verse, it talks about God have not really created two hearts for human. Two hearts is like when you occupy with two things at the same time, and that is so contradicting to being here and now. So just like humans are in a haste. So sometimes even when we do something with a speed, that does not help us to be here and now. That does not help us to be mindfulness. When we do something and when we are mindfulness, we don't really focus on being in a hurry. We just focus on being here and now. And like in Surah Luqman, it also talks even about walking on planet Earth. This wise man is advising his son. He said, when you walk, try to walk mindfully. Try to walk, don't walk in a big haste. And that is mindfulness walking. So that is like being here and now. The mind, the first word which is mentioned in the Quran, it said read. Reading and studying is something which is really encouraged to connect with the mind, and to look after the mind is something is a big chunk also in this teaching, and to connect with developing our mind, and to connect with being like consciously seeking knowledge. It also promotes us to look up after our physical body, because this is a gift from our Lord, and we really do need to look at what we eat, and to think of food as our medicine. Try to eat healthy food. So it's not only eating for living, eating as the body is a sacred temple, and we really have to be thankful for this gift. And the Quran mentioned so many blessed food like dates and olives and figs and grapes. It's lovely to connect with the food which are mentioned in this book. And also the physical body. The physical body, the way the Muslims have to pray 5 times in a day, and every time they pray, they need to wash. They need to wash their face, and they need to, the word which is mentioned in the Quran, is said, the word which is mentioned in the Quran, it said, wash your face and rub your feet. And you know, if you study reflexology, like there are so many points on the feet which represent the body. So by washing the feet, you are also rubbing the feet, which help to bring the body in a balanced state. And so it's like the prayer helps to balance the body, the mind, all dimensions: physical, emotional, spiritual, within the nervous system. And it just a very compact system to bring, it is like resetting the mind, to bring the body in a state of a balance from the spiritual, physical, and emotional dimension. So at the beginning, I said draw 3 circles. So draw the 3 circles, and in each circle, write 1 or 2 words. And when you finish, look at the size of each circle. If the past, and by the way, there is nothing right or wrong about this. If you draw the past circle bigger, if the size of the past circle is bigger than the present and the future, that means you just need to go back to the past, to your past, and tidy your past. And maybe if you write a word, a name of a person, maybe you need to forgive, or maybe need to make peace. And if the circle of the present is bigger, that means that is good, you are more in the present. But if the circle of the future is smaller than the past, that means it is take time to plan for the future, and just to maybe to start to dream more about things which you can do for your future and make it more exciting.